Welcome to the High Level Wife Podcast. This is a space for Christian wives who love God, want their marriage healed, and are done performing, fixing, striving, or trying to control their way to change. Here we're going to talk about marriage God's way through right order, surrender, heart posture, and spirit-led transformation. This is not self-help, it's discipleship. My name is Chelsey Holm, and my role is to help you move from awareness into obedience so real healing, wholeness, and restoration can take root. Let's begin.
Yesterday, we talked about how surrender doesn't start with doing, it starts with heart posture. So welcome back to this mini series on Valentine's Day. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you're continuing to show up and listening. Today, I want to gently expose something that's very sneaky for wives who love God, right? You're a Christian wife who loves Jesus, but you're struggling in your marriage. And I'm going to tell you why. It's because striving, but it's not obvious striving, it's spiritual striving. So it's the kind that looks like obedience and it sounds like responsibility, but underneath is fear, control, and self-protection. If surrender feels hard or heavy or confusing, this episode is for you. So here's the hard truth that most Christian wives and women just never hear, that striving often disguises itself as faithfulness, right? It's this false sense of holiness where we say things like, I just need to try harder. If I can explain it better, he'll finally understand. Or God helps those who help themselves. Like, what? I'm not sure that's biblical, but okay. And suddenly, without realizing it, we're carrying what God never asked us to carry. And so striving feels responsible. It feels productive. Don't get me started, right? I mean, how many of you are living with high function anxiety where box checking has become your middle name and you do it like a boss, right? It feels productive. It even feels holy. Look at you, you are serving your family, but it's not surrender. Striving says, if I don't do this, everything will fall apart. Where surrender says, even if I stop striving, God is still God. God established himself as dominion over all. We see this in the beginning in Genesis when man was created to have dominion over all the earth. But the Sabbath was established with rest in order for God to establish his dominion over man. So if your body feels tight, if your chest feels heavy, and if peace feels far away, again, that's not failure, it's information. I'm going to keep saying this over and over and over until you get it, because I know you don't get it yet, but you will. Your heart posture may have to shift. Not may, it's going to have to shift. Like your heart posture may have shifted from trust to self-reliance. And it's going to have to shift from self-reliance back to trust, first trust in the Lord, and then you can overflow and trust in your husband. So I'm going to read this slowly to you. Matthew 11:28-29 says, come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. I know we just reviewed this yesterday, but you have not experienced this yet because you can't experience this kind of rest when you take on the responsibility that was never yours to take. So notice what Jesus doesn't say. He doesn't say, try harder, fix yourself, get your marriage together first. He says, come, lay it down, learn my way. Rest isn't a reward for obedience. I spent so many years of my life believing this, right? Rest hard or play hard, rest hard, or what at work? No, what is the saying? Oh my gosh, totally just escaped me. Work hard, play hard, right? And it gives us this false idea that rest is a reward for obedience, but actually rest is a starting place. God gave the Sabbath for man, not man for the Sabbath. Okay, so first of all, we're going to start by releasing the lie that striving is strength. True strength is humility. True strength is trust. And true strength is saying, God, I can't carry this anymore. And you never asked me to. Right? It's that moment of, God, I can't, but you can. And you don't need to figure out how to surrender today. You don't need a plan or a script. You just need to notice. You need to ask yourself, where have I been striving instead of trusting? Maybe it's your husband's growth. And newsflash, I had to learn this the hard way, that I was actually causing damage to my husband's faith by trying to control his growth, by trying to control our marriage outcome, my reputation, my sense of safety. Okay. Release doesn't mean ignoring responsibility, right? It doesn't just mean sitting at home and eating bonbons all day. No, absolutely not. But the problem with striving is that when it comes from a place of self reliance, we are then the solution. We are then our own cup filler, which we can't actually be. And we're not able to pour out of our cup because we can't fill our own cup. And so this is why this right order allows us to overflow onto everything else. It means returning responsibility to the right hands, which is God's hands. And here's the freedom. When you stop striving, you don't become passive. That's the thing. Like in our limited human brains, we think that if I don't do it, nobody else will. And so the opposite of self-reliance in our brains is wrongly passivity, but that's not true at all. What happens is we become available, and available for peace, for wisdom, available for the spirit to move. So today you don't fix anything. You just notice and you ask yourself, where have I been carrying what God never asked me to carry? And then we let that awareness soften you, not shame you. Shame is the language of the enemy that leads to condemnation and being shackled under the weight of our striving. Instead, it's a softening, which is the beginner, which is the beginning of surrender. Oh gosh, you guys, I'm so blessed that you continue to listen to me when I mess up words all the time, right? Podcast is literally for speaking and words are hard. Okay. So I just want to close with this, that striving feels strong, but trust is where rest actually begins.
If this episode stirred something in you, but high level wife feels like too big of a step right now, I want you to hear this clearly. You don't have to jump ahead to honor what God is doing. I created a short guided experience called From Awareness to Surrender for women who aren't ready for ongoing support but know they can't stay where they are. It includes 3 short teachings, a guided exercise, and a prayer I recorded over you. It's going to help you move from awareness into real response. You'll find the link in the show notes. And if you're not ready even for that, don't rush past this moment. Sit with God and ask Him what obedience looks like next.